Well, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Um, this is my night for Wednesday Nuggets that I had pushed back. This is my night for Straight from the Heart. Um, and this is the night that I'm streaming from every outlet that I post on. This is my reality is where words come to life. Stream outlet. This is my To a Woman's Heart streaming outlet. And this is my Facebook page streaming outlet. And the reason that I'm doing this stream is because for the last couple of weeks, some things have been weighing heavily on me, especially from conversations that I've heard from individuals that was quite disturbing. And since I don't like to put other people's business in the street, I can talk about me. I can be transparent about myself, what's going on with me. And so I'm going to start out with saying this. A couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with periodontal disease. And this is something that my mother had. And so years ago, you're given instructions on what you should and you should not do when it comes down to periodontal disease. They can tell you, you either have an option of getting all your teeth pulled or you can work on keeping your teeth. Well, fast forward to a couple of years ago, going to my new dentist, things start to change a little bit. And so it was quite disturbing for me. And it was a lot for me to deal with knowing that I had periodontal disease. But here is where I understand how we as individuals make people feel uncomfortable. We as individuals don't realize that unspoken words are spoken words. And here is where as we say we are Christians, that we should display that. And so when an individual is diagnosed with where it's periodontal disease, where it's cancer, where it's heart problems, leukemia, whatever it may be, your body changes. It goes through a lot. And it's already difficult for that person to accept the information that's been given. But when you have people that's close to you make you feel bad or uncomfortable about things, that's not a good look. They already struggling with the issues that they're dealing with. And again, I'm going to use me for an example. So in my struggle with dealing with periodontal disease, and everybody understand what it is, it causes a stench. Doesn't mean that you're nasty, you're not clean, you're not kept, because you are. Um, but you struggle with some things, just like with ladies who have alopecia. They struggle with revealing their bald heads because that's their covering, and they feel like people are going to judge them in a certain way, which is not, we shouldn't do that, but we do it. And so when you have friends and loved ones, what you want them to do is be honest and transparent with you and tell you if there are certain things that's not right with you. You should not hear conversation. You should not hear or see the display of actions if something is not right. And we're good at that. We're very, very, very good at that. We say we love, but do we really understand the meaning of love? Do we really understand the meaning of a true friend? Because when you love somebody and you feel a certain way about someone, then we should be confident to know that we can go to that person and tell them anything. Uh, Actions speak words, and action can cause people to commit suicide. Action causes people to stray away from the church. Action causes people not want to be around anybody. This is just true conversation that we just don't want to talk about sometimes. And I understand that. But as you all know, I'm one of them bold ones. I don't have a fear of talking about anything because it's factual and it's true. And so a couple of people that I know that I ask questions to just for my own sanity. And they told me no, but the actions displayed differently. And so that leads me to question the relationship that we have one to another. Because if I'm asking you as a friend and I'm asking you something, I want you to tell me the truth. I prefer to hear it from you than hear it from somebody else. And all this, you wonder why all this comes about is I spoke to a young lady not too long ago, and she's dealing with some real hard things. And we as individuals, we look at people from the outside and we think they have it all together. We don't have no knowledge of what they deal with at home, the struggles, the battles they have to fight. We don't have no knowledge. And we prejudge people. We say things without all the facts of knowing why people act the way that they do. Let's be honest. And so this young lady was dealing with a lot of difficult things. And the first thing she said was the adult. The adult was very hard and cruel to her, very cruel. And so she began to close herself off. And again, words are hurtful. Words are cutting. Words can push people into doing things that they normally would do. And it gets them to that point because they get fed up. That's what happened when you bully people. When people are bullied constantly and nobody understands what they're going through, then their option, they say in their mind, is to take their own life. And then we sit around and say, well, I wonder why did that happen? How did that happen? So we have to sit down and think about what we say to people, how we treat people, and how are we really representing God as we say we represent him? Because God is a God of love. And sometimes in the things that we say and we do, that's not displaying love. That's not displaying no compassion. That's not displaying no understanding, neither no forgiveness. Because the truth is, everybody has a closet door that, believe me, you don't want nobody to open. And there are some things in your closet. So while we walk around and thinking or acting like our life is hunky dory, pretty, and precious, and it's not. That's including myself. We've all done some things that was not pleasant. We've all said some things that's not pleasant. And I keep saying over and over again, COVID had its purpose and its place. And it's for self-evaluation. And if we are going to be better people, and if we're going to treat people right, we need to start practicing that now. Because what you think you know about somebody, you really don't know unless you're standing or sitting in that seat. You may think you know, but you don't know. And then another thing, to befriend somebody just to find out, their business, which is not your business to tell, that is wrong on so many levels. I listened to Taylor Talk the other day, and Fantasia's husband was talking about how he had a troubled past and how he ended up in and out of jail. But he was grateful for the things that he went through in his troubled past. It made him the man he was today. But with us, we don't give nobody no second chances because we don't feel like they deserve a second chance. Who are you to make that call? Then last night, I was watching Uncensored with Jaleel White. And they went through his life and they went to a snippet of the Cosby Show. And in the snippet of the Cosby Show, he was saying that he had auditioned for the part, but he didn't get it. But he had a relationship with Mr. Cosby. It was a great relationship, but irregardless to his status and his stature, he still has to pay a price. But who are we to say who should pay a price? Who are we to say that? Because we have family members, we have friends that do those very same things. And the business in which those individuals are in, That's the type of business. So if you're going to cut one thing, then cut it all. Let's stop being excluding and let's include everything. We are so one-sided when it comes down to analogy, when it comes down to perception, when it comes down to judgment. It depends on the person, it depends on the relationship, and it depends on the situation. We'll jump on the bandwagon, and even some of us without even knowing all the facts. But we don't know the truth. We just know partial information, but we still jump on. And that's sad. To me, it's sad. And we don't realize intentional or unintentional actions weigh heavily on people, even the strongest of individuals, because you think you see somebody that's smiling, that they're happy on the inside. Sometimes it's just a front to cover up the heartbreak that they're dealing with. And we never consider that. Not too long ago, I'm a person who like to push people forward. If I see that there's something in you that you're sitting on, then I'm going to try to push you forward. And that's the platform that I use for To a Woman's Heart. But we are so, how can I put this? We so questionable when somebody comes to us genuinely because we have been done wrong by so many people that we question whether their help is honest or not. And that right there speaks volume. A couple of ladies not too long ago asked me to do a segment on To a Woman's Heart. And I did everything that they asked me to do, set it all up. But they backed out without even letting me know. And so I sent them a nice little message today. I've done my part. But the one thing that we don't do as people is communicate. We good at talking about people. We good at gossiping about things, but we don't communicate. We don't listen to each other. We hear, and hearing and listening is two different things. We need to learn how to listen to one another. And don't just assume that when somebody is going through something that you know what they're dealing with, because you don't. People deal with things differently. And then we post subliminal messages. If you have something to say to an individual, I pray that COVID has taught you to go to that person and tell them. Because you know what, everybody? Life is too short. It's too short for this foolishness that we're continue dealing with and we continually to do. If you love me, love me. If you don't, that's fine. But don't be in my face, sniggling and giggling, and you know you don't like me at all. Do me that favor. Do yourself that favor. And let's not fake the funk anymore. If you're going to be supportive to somebody, be supportive to somebody genuinely. Don't fake the funk. But understand this, whatever you start, whatever you decide to do, the same thing that that individual expect for you, you would expect for yourself if you were starting up a business. We should not have to poke and prod. For us, we're the only race that chew each other up. We chew each other up. And it's sad. We stick together when it serves a purpose for us, or we wait till a situation hit our front door before we realize that there was a need to step up to the plate. We have all these excuses of why we won't do what we should do. We spend our money on things that do we really think about why we're spending them? Money that we can invest for retirement or our future. We're not training, we're not teaching, and we wonder why our neighborhoods and our communities are the way they are. Here are some of the reasons why they are the way they are. And I know this conversation, people are like, well, who is she to talk about what she talk about? I am who I am. Bottom line. And I say it all the time. You can like it or you don't have to like it. I'm fine with that. But I'm at a point in my life that foolishness, pretense, I don't have time to deal with. If I ask you a question, something about me that I feel that's important, and I feel that you're important enough for me to ask a question about, then I expect you to be truthful and honest with me, because I'm telling you, people can pick up when you're lying to them. People can pick up when you're pretending. I don't want to be in the conference of nobody's group if I'm unwanted. I don't want to be your friend if I'm unwanted. I don't want to be in none of that. Life is too short. It's so short. Then when somebody died, we get up into these funerals and we talk about, oh, this person, and you can't stand that individual. It's time out for sugarcoating stuff. It is. Be real. Be 100. I'm not saying be cruel. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying be evil, but I'm saying be honest. Be transparent and be truthful with yourself and then with others. And we will find in that we can have better relationship. We can draw people more. But we act like we are more than what we are, and we're not. We all struggle. We all struggle. Nobody has arrived to nothing as of yet. And we don't have all the answers to everything, but we don't want to help nobody. We don't want to do nothing for nobody. We don't want to encourage nobody. We don't want to uplift nobody. Our mentality is me, myself, and I. And that's not how it should be. For all these Bible scholars who is what they call it, heavenly bound, no earthly good. Yeah, that's what we are. See, we talk a good talk, but our walk do not match our talk, not whatsoever. It doesn't. We ain't helping nobody. We ain't supporting nobody. We ain't giving to nobody. Even when you see the homeless person on the street, we think that that person is there by choice. But you don't know if the mind is gone. You don't know if everybody in their family was murdered. You don't know the story. Now, let me put a disclaimer out there. There are some people who milk the system and use people's disadvantages for their advantages. Let's be realistic. But we have all these people who say that they live by thus said the Lord. And I'm telling you, it's hard to distinguish. Really, it is. Because again, actions speak volume. And not even by words. Again, unspoken words are words. If I'm sitting on a seat and I have a stench and the person next to me whispered to the person, said, oh, she stank. So you telling the person next to me that I stank, but you won't tell me I stank. Why is that? Especially if we got a relationship, especially if we got a friendship, then you should be able to come to me and say, Renee, look, you may not be aware of this, but you may need to check out A, B, C, and D. And then I can come back to you and say, well, these are the reasons why. So you can understand. But we judge quickly without all the facts. You don't know nobody's condition. You don't. And when people are diagnosed with a condition, just dealing with what the doctor has told them is more than enough for them to digest without you adding to it. Now, for that young lady who dealt with all the riffraff from grown folks, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. You didn't know that that girl was dealing with a lot of stuff at home. We don't know what these young girls deal with at home. Well, we don't know what woman deal with at home. And we don't know where the mindset of an individual is, how close to the edge it is before what we say can be the very thing that pushed them over the edge and caused them to commit suicide. We need to think. We need to think. And that's something that we don't do that often, wisely. We good at talking. We good at running our mouth, showing off name brand stuff, what we bought, what we got. What kind of value do they have? Your kids can't read 2 lines in a book. They can't count from 1 to 5. But you got all this name brand stuff. You got your house decked out. You paying $500 and $600 for weed, and you still getting a link card. That don't make sense to me. It doesn't. Our priorities are crossed up, totally crossed up. And we need to reevaluate some things. I've said over and over again, COVID has a purpose and it has a place. And everything we deal with is about self-evaluation. And a lot of us have not got it yet. We still doing the same old dumb stuff over and over again. We post things that we should not post. And then instead of calling the person that you need to call and tell them they have offended you, you get on social media and you make these posts. What does that do? That draws people into some mess. It creates more mess. Be the woman, be the man, call the person, meet the person, y'all have a conversation and y'all hash it out. If you don't want to be bothered with nobody, don't be bothered with nobody. But sometimes what we put on somebody else belongs to us. It ain't about the other person. It's about our insecurities, what's going on within us. But we want to push it off on somebody else. So it's time for the woman and the man to stand in the mirror and take a look at yourself. And we all need to do it. And that's including me. So as I talk to you, I talk to myself. But when I'm around people and I'm in the community and I hear a lot of stuff, it breaks my heart to know that what people have said, what people have done, all in the name of the Lord, needs to be ashamed of themselves and how they have affected people's lives with the words that they said, with the nastiness, with the mean and the cruelty. Everybody makes mistakes. We're not beyond making mistakes. God forgave you. Who are we not to forgive nobody else? Who are we not to have compassion for nobody else? Who are we to not understand? That's all I'm saying. Now, I've asked people, individuals, if women, especially women, you had a business, come forward. We'll push you forward. I don't gain nothing from this. It helps you. When it helps you, I'm good. But we're so untrusting. We think somebody want to take something from us. And the people that we should look cross-eyed at, we don't look cross-eyed at them. We look cross-eyed at the people who's trying to help. And it's just time for a wake-up call. It is. Stop being selective in people who you want to do things for. If you can't be fair with everybody, then don't do it. Don't have a select few that you'll do certain things for. It's just time for a change. Bottom line. It really is. Life is short. People die young. And we're talking about all the killings and we're talking about police brutality. And it's our own. People that live in our households. We jump on news media things that's pertaining to people that are famous, but the same situation is happening in your neighborhoods, but nobody say anything. It's sad. We all want to tell somebody how they should dress, what they should like, what they should do, and you don't dress no better. You got your belly tops on, your booty shorts on with your booty hanging out. So if I got booty shorts on and a belly top, how can I talk about somebody else who have on a fitting dress? I can't. I cannot. So we need to think. We need to learn how to listen, not just hear, but we need to listen. We got 2 ears for a reason and 1 mouth. So we can listen twice before we speak. But sometimes I don't think we do that neither. And before we start pointing the finger at somebody else, we need to look back in our closet door. Open it. How about if the Lord would run the credits on your life while we run the credits on somebody else's? Or how about if he opened the closet door on you while you trying to open the closet door on somebody else? I'm just saying, nobody is perfect, including myself. I've done some things that I'm ashamed of. Me. But I can take ownership to mine. Can you take ownership to yours? That's all I'm saying. I'm not perfect. We dislike people because somebody else dislikes them. How is that? So, be honest with people. If you feel a certain way about somebody, if you feel that their body is not up to par, whatever it is, be bold enough to tell them in love. Because believe me, people can pick up on your aura. They can pick up on your character, your disposition when you stray away from somebody, when you do the gestures, or when you tell me, what's that? When you do that, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, because that caused me to look at you side-eyed when you lying to me, when I ask you a specific question. So if somebody asks you something, Be man and woman enough to step up to the plate and do what you need to do for that person. If you can help, you can help. If you can't, say, I don't have it. Don't lie and you have it to help and you won't help. Or don't call nobody and say, if they going through a storm, and say, well, if you need me, call me, and then you don't pick up the phone. We're good at that. We're good at offering something, but we're not good at following through with it. Again, if a friendship relationship has broken up, then be honest about the friendship and relationship, because friendship and relationships just don't break up. And we need to really understand the true meaning of friend and love. There's a difference between a true friend and an associate. It really is. And I think we misuse those words to suit our own purpose. And it's sad. And this is off of me. I've done what I've been provoked to do. Now, what it do for somebody, I don't know. It made me feel better. Now I can go to sleep at night. I've said it. I'm done with it. I'm moving on. But I'm just saying, I'm at a point that you need to be truthful with me. If I ask you something, tell me the truth. You don't want to be my friend, I'm okay with that. You don't like me no more, I'm okay with that too. I'm not going to lose no sleep. I'm not going to be upset. Now, let me say, there was a time that what people said and what people did would have bothered me. But you know, when you evolve and you grow through all the stresses and struggles and all the hurts and hiccups in life that people throw your way, you learn to get past some things. It makes you stronger. So I'm not saying I haven't been used. I'm not saying I haven't been lied on. I haven't said that people have lied to me, because they have. I've taken people in and they misuse my kindness for weakness and then try to make it seem like it was me and it's not them. I've been there. So I'm not just talking to be talking. I understand. I get it. But these things, the same individuals that do all the things that they do are the same individuals that run up in the house of the Lord and forget what they have done to you. But the good thing about it, God keeps records and he knows. That's all I'm saying. And I have enough in my cup for the stupid stuff that I have done against Renee that I'm having given account for. I don't have no time and no room to take your stuff and add to my bucket, because I got enough in there already. That's all I'm saying. So if you're going to be my friend, be my friend. If you're going to love me for who I am. All of me. The good, the bad, and the ugly truth. And if we can't do that, don't make somebody the fall guy for your foolishness. Don't break up the friendship for your food. And if somebody does something wrong to you, you need to tell them. I have a friend right now. Stress caused her to be sick, holding all that stuff in that it almost killed her. Literally. And I'm telling you, stress is a silent killer. Life happens to people. You don't need extra stuff added to it. Let's be truthful and honest with ourselves. And let's be truthful and honest with one another. All right? Now, this is all my social media outlets. My reality is when words come to life. My To a Woman's Heart, my Facebook page, my Twitter, my YouTube, and my Facebook profile page. And this will be the first and the last time. Well, I ain't going to say the last, because whatever the Lord say do, I'm going to do. But I'm just saying, I hope that something I have said will prick some in you that will help you be a better version of yourself. This ain't about nobody else. But again, we need to look at people. You can't tell people how they should grieve, when they should grieve. You can't tell people you've been dealing with this sickness for a while, you should be over it, because no two people are the same. And the way I grieve and the way I deal with sickness is totally different way somebody else deals. Let's have a little more compassion for one another, because you don't know nobody's story. You don't know what the doctors have told them, and you don't know what they're dealing with, because some issues lead to other things. You don't have no clue. And you don't know if they at the first stage or the final stage. Let's be a little more loving. Practice the 1 Corinthians 13 chapter, the chapter of love. Let's practice that a little more. Let's do that. And if you got an alt against your brother, go to him and tell him. Stop holding all this stuff and telling everybody, Mary John, Billy Joe, Leslie, Sarah, Jill, Mary, May. Tell it to the person. And if you don't want to be friends with nobody, stop posting this crap on Facebook. Say it to the person and tell them the reasons why. If I hurt your feelings, say, Renee, you hurt my feelings. And then I can apologize for something that I know, but I can't fix something that I'm unaware of. That's all I'm saying. Look in the mirror, everybody. It's time to look in the mirror. All right, I'm having a hot flash, so that's all I got to say. All right, y'all take care. Have a good one. It was a pleasure talking to y'all. Until we talk again. Bye-bye.